Moving along, our next inductee into the BC Hockey Hall of Fame is from the players category. He joins an elite group of players already inducted. I again direct your attention to the video screens for this feature salute on our next inductee. Campbell River, BC is a noted salmon fishing paradise and also home to Rod Brind'Amour. Rod played his minor hockey in the area and has an arena named in his honor. Then it was off to Notre Dame Hounds in Wilcox, Saskatchewan. A Centennial Cup championship was one of his fondest memories in junior hockey. Rod was MVP and top scorer. Next stop was Michigan State University. Rod had 59 points in 42 games. He was drafted in the first round by the St. Louis Blues and had 61 points in his first NHL season. Brind'Amour was well known and respected for his dedication to training. The weight room was an important part of his daily routine. Very few NHLers could match his commitment to strenuous workouts, and many players were impressed.
I remember going in after a game and going in, riding the bike for 10 minutes, coming back, doing interviews, going to the bathroom, and then walking by the shower after, and I still see him in there.
No one there except the Flyers, though, and it's played back across to Yushkevich. Leads it on. Yushkevich fakes the drive, drops for Brind'Amour, around in front. He scores! Rod Brind'Amour, and it's 3-2 in favor of the Flyers.
After St. Louis, Rod played with the Philadelphia Flyers. He was either alternate captain or wore the captaincy during his 9 years as a Flyer. He had a consecutive game streak of 484 games, a Flyers franchise record. Rod scored 230 goals as a Flyer.
10 goals for the Flyers. Rod Brind'Amour with the hat trick.
He was traded to Carolina Hurricanes in the 99-2000 season and was a key member of the Carolina organization on the ice.
Roddy Brind'Amour once again leads Carolina. Loops in front, poked that, and Brind'Amour scores!
And today, as a coach, he was captain of the Hurricanes Stanley Cup Championship in 2006.
Brind'Amour with the net empty. Pronger shrubs it away. The Carolina Hurricanes have won the Stanley Cup.
Rod Brind'Amour, I'm proud to present this to you.
Rod then shared the Stanley Cup win with his family, friends, and fans in Campbell River. A proud and cherished moment with the NHL's coveted championship trophy. He also represented Canada numerous times, including the World Juniors, World Cup, World Championships, and the '98 Olympics.
Rod Brind'Amour will face off against Michael Pekka.
Brind'Amour played 1,484 NHL games. He scored 452 goals and 732 assists. 1,184 career points.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 17, Rod Brind'Amour.
His number 17 Carolina jersey was retired in an impressive ceremony on February the 18th, 2011. A great career, winning a Stanley Cup, the Frank Selke Trophy twice, and overall outstanding leadership qualities. And Rod hosts an annual charity golf tournament for cystic fibrosis in Campbell River. The BC Hockey Hall of Fame proudly welcomes 2012 inductee Rod Brind'Amour. Congratulations, Rod, and to make the presentation, a member of the BC Hockey Hall of Fame, Ray Ferraro. Ray?
Rod, congratulations. One of the most tenacious, difficult players that I ever played against. Congratulations on being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Rod. Great to see you. Hey, they gotta fix this at the end here. They want to take a picture here.
Yep, it's you. Thanks, Ray. Before I get started, Ray was talking about the Atlanta Thrashers back in the day and when he played, and there's a reason they only won 14 games that year. It was obvious he was taking face-offs in the last minute of the game. That's not a good thing. That's true. Obviously, I want to thank the BC Hockey Hall of Fame for including me tonight in this ceremony. It's truly an honor to be remembered and to go down in a category, in the hockey category, hockey player category with the great Scott Niedermayer. I had the pleasure, well actually it wasn't that pleasurable, to play against him many, many times, and there's not many more classier individuals I ever played. He played the game the right way, and I know you got your kids here, and they may not have seen you play that much, but they should be really proud of the way you handled yourself. And it's a real honor to be up here with you on the same ticket. And it's kind of my luck that I got to follow Jim Houston, the best hockey announcer in the world, and I got to follow him. But it's also a pleasure to go on with you. I talked to you last night, and my son, who is an avid hockey player and fan, also plays video games, but he makes me stop every time you're doing a game and watch. And I think we talked about that last night, but that is really what makes a good announcer, is when you stop and watch. And so it is true, you are truly one of the best. So again, glad to be in this company. When you come to these events, especially when you're talking about hockey players, generally the themes or the speeches that they come up with are pretty similar in a lot of ways. And that is they thank a lot of people, because as you know, in this room, hockey's the greatest team sport that ever existed. And you never get anywhere as a player without a lot of people helping you along the way. And I'm obviously no different. I'm very, very fortunate to have had two great parents to be with me since the kid, obviously, and support you and take you to the rinks and sacrifice all the time, energy, in your life. And that's one of the reasons why, if you meet most hockey players, they're pretty down to earth and they're pretty good people. And I think it is the family commitment that they have to do in order for you to play this game. And unfortunately, my dad couldn't be here tonight. I had a great career. I got to experience a lot of wonderful things, but as a hockey dad goes, he probably had as good a career as anybody. But he's not here tonight, and but my mom is. And a lot of times moms kind of get pushed to the background a little bit when it comes to this sport, because it's obviously a little bit male-dominated when it comes to the trips that they get. The dads get to come on. But my mom supported me, obviously, since I was a kid. And you play the game, you're at the rink a lot, you're practicing a lot, you're training a lot, but you're really, at home and in your personal life a lot more, where it really matters. And I can't ever thank her enough for being there for me and my brothers and my dad. My dad got the call a lot when things were going good, and talk about the games and talk about whatever, or, complain about a coach or this or that. But, Mom always gets the calls when things aren't going so well. And I want to thank you again for always being there for me, and this is the reason I'm here today. So I want to thank you for that. We were walking around today, just around town, and we went for lunch, and someone said, "You and your husband have a seat," and I was like, "What?" I was like, I'm getting really old, or you look really good. And I don't know, I started thinking about it, and in 20 years I look back, I think you really haven't changed that much. You do look kind of the same. And I thought, well, maybe it's something you're drinking up in the water in Campbell River. But then I look at my dad and I think, no, that's definitely not what it is. But whatever it is, some secret, I'm going to have to start getting on it here, because there's a few more grays popping in here. But again, thank you. My dad isn't here, but I would like to just say something about him. And he coached me at a young age. And, Bob was up here talking about coaching and coaching kids. And he coached me at the age that my son is now, the Bantam age. And he took a team from Campbell River that had maybe 20 kids try out and 10 that could skate. And we won the whole thing. We won the BC championships. We beat everybody. And at the time, I didn't think much of it, but I know now that was a pretty good accomplishment. And we did it because he taught us the game. And I always get asked, who's the best coach that you ever had? And, as a player, and I know Scotty could probably say the same thing, usually the players that play in the NHL will think, well, which coach gave me the most ice time? Which coach gave me the best opportunity? That's the best coach I ever had. But when I think about it, the coach I learned the most from was my dad at a young age. And it's a real important age. And one of the things he did, and I'll never forget this, is after we had tryouts and I was driving home with him, and he said, "Son, you're going to have to play defense." And I thought he was joking. I said, "What?" I said, "Dad, how am I ever going to be like Wayne Gretzky or Guy Lafleur if I got to play defense? Not happening." And he said, "Well, I'm the coach, and it's happening." And so I did what every kid does. When one parent tells you one thing, I went to the other one. And I tried my mom out. And all the beautiful things I just said about my mom, the one thing that she is, whether it's good or bad, is she's kind of like Switzerland, and she's kind of neutral. And so I did my whole spiel, and of course I played defense for those 2 years. But the beauty thing of it, the beautiful thing, is that I learned the position, and I learned it from a different way to look at things. And I learned how the value of a low center is for a defenseman, or I learned what a great defenseman can do to break a tape-to-tape pass out of your end, or beat the first forechecker, break down the defense, and join the rush. And I think it helped me as I moved along. And so my dad always, if he was here, he'd be saying, "That's because I'm coach, and I knew what I was doing." And what really happens, and now that I'm into the coaching side of things, I see it because coaches every day, they come up with big plans, and every game they got a new one, and 99% of the time they never work. But every once in a while they do, and you're a great coach when that happens. And Pat Cohen, I know you know what I'm talking about. But what happened is, and you learn the game from a different position, and it stuck with me. And he taught me the game. He taught all the kids the game. And I'll never forget that. And I'm indebted to my parents because I know what great role models they were for me. And we're in a BC Hockey Hall of Fame here tonight, and I've said this once before at a different function, but if there was ever a Hall of Fame for parents, that I would have 2 parents in there for sure. And so I'm very grateful for that. And as I leave tonight, there's one other thing that I'm really grateful for and appreciative of, and that is growing up in British Columbia. And I've moved away a long time ago, and I live now in Raleigh, North Carolina, and that's my home, and my kids are all American, and my wife's American. But I had an unbelievable opportunity growing up here in British Columbia and in Canada, where hockey is what we do. Hockey is in our blood. And I often wonder, and I'm just like every other kid. I started playing hockey in Prince Rupert, British Columbia at the age of 5, and I quit the game. I had a coach that yelled at me, and I thought, I get yelled enough at home. I don't need this. And so I quit. But a year went by, another half a year went by, and I noticed something. I noticed I didn't have any friends. Because everybody was playing hockey on the weekends, and everyone was traveling, everyone was doing their thing. And I said, I'd better quickly get back into the game, because I'm not going to have anybody to play with, I'm not going to have anybody to hang out with. And so I got back into the game, and thankfully I did. But I often wonder that if I had grown up in Raleigh, North Carolina, like my son does now, and same thing happened, I could start playing at 5, and they've got good hockey there now, and someone will be in the NHL from Raleigh, North Carolina really soon. But had I decided to go somewhere else and do a different thing, I would have went to baseball or basketball or soccer with all my friends, and I don't think I would have looked back on hockey. And that's why when Pat Quinn was just talking about, hockey in Canada and why it's supreme, one of the reasons that Canada will always be favored to win gold medals, always, is because the best athletes in this country always at least start out playing hockey. And it's in their blood, and they're passionate, and they have a will to play this game. And no other country in the world does that. And I don't know that they ever will. Not to the level. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me here tonight. It's a true honor to be remembered. And enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.